seeing, and this is one that we'll be talking to the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers shortly. Some oil marketing companies have started reviewing prices of petroleum products at the pumps with some mixed adjustment. Prices of petrol have reduced marginally, but prices of diesel have gone up. So take note of this. For instance, Goil, here we monitored Goil, now selling a liter of petrol at 12 cedis 7 pesos from the old price of 12 cedis 38 pesos. So almost 31 pesos reduction per liter at the pumps, quoted earlier today. Now, diesel is going for 13 cedis 20 pesos as against the old price of 12 cedis 88 pesos, up by the same margin of 30 pesos per liter for diesel. And so petrol has seen a 30 pesos reduction. Diesel has seen a 30 pesos increase per liter in price. So that's what we're monitoring right now. We'll get into it as we go on here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. But the Electoral Commission will conduct a rerun of parliamentary elections in 19 out of 37 polling stations in the Ablekuma North Constituency on Friday, July 11, 2025. This decision follows months of deadlock after the December 7, 2024 presidential parliamentary elections. Now, leaving the constituency without parliamentary representation due to disputes over the results collation. The Ablekuma North Constituency is the only constituency without an MP in this 9th parliament. Now, if you recall, the deputy EC chair was in parliament a little over a week ago to update parliament on the Ablekuma North matter so far. Prior to that, we had the minority caucus in parliament marching to the Ghana Police Service, petitioning the IGP to provide security to the Electoral Commission to finish the collation of the results in there. The latest is that the statement that has been issued today, Deputy Chair in charge of operations at the Electoral Commission, Samuel Tete, explained that the rerun of the elections in these 19 polling stations is as a result of the presiding officers who are affected in these polling stations not being able to verify 19 scanned copies of the polling station results used in the collation, despite approval from agents of both political parties. Meanwhile, 18 other stations had verified results and will not require everyone. This despite the dispute, as we've seen, stemming from the destruction of original pink sheets during a violent disruption at the collation center in December 2024. Now, this forced the Electoral Commission to rely on the scanned copies provided by the NPP. The NDC had alleged that these copies are fraudulent, while the NPP maintains that they're indeed valid. Now, below is a list of the affected polling stations as published by the Electoral Commission in that statement not too long ago. God First International School, Dakoman 1 polling station in Nyamiche, Pentecost Church, Mount Zion Assembly, Kwashiman, DVLA Office, Awoshi, Adamame 2nd, Awoshi, Esiedu, Jedu, Memorial School, Awoshi number 1, Living Spring Day Nursery, Kwashibu, number 1, the Lord's Pentecostal Church, Kwashibu, Presby Church, Odoko 4, Chumami, and then there is Church of Pentecost North, Odoko 2, Church of Pentecost North, Odoko 4, and then also Methodist Church, Odoko, and St. John the Baptist Catholic Church, Odoko. We also have the other polling stations named in the statement: Atiko School Complex in Odoko and the South Odoko 4 and 5 schools, and there's a Light of Gospel Miracle Chapel polling station, MTTD Odoko Divisional Station, and the Roman Catholic Church Bozia Junction Odoko polling station, and Bethel Baptist Church Sakaman polling station. All these are the polling stations that we understand, these 19 polling stations that the elections will be rerun. Now, we're going to get into a bit more detail on this one. And Dr. Asitanko, so unfortunately, we got a number of reactions to it as well earlier today. But this is one that has been on our radar for quite a while now, and also what the Electoral Commission has decided to do now. If I recall, Dr. Bosman Asari in Parliament over a week ago said this about the Ablekuma North constituency results and what the Electoral Commission intends to do.
The Commission strongly believes that for the processes that have gone on so far, if we go back to the good people of this country that we are abolishing everything, it will not be good for our democracy. It will not be good for our democracy. Thank you. So let's allow the process to continue. Thank you. I would like to start by saying that the Electoral Commission is anxious about completing the Ablekuma North Parliamentary election results to ensure that the people of Ablekuma North have a representative in Parliament. As such, we are not relenting and we are not resting on our oars, but we are continuing to engage with the security agencies to ensure that we have the protection to complete the collation. It must be noted that an Accra High Court on 4th January 2025 ruled that the Electoral Commission should go and complete the collation of the results for Tema Central, Ablekuma North, Okaikwe Central, and Techiman South constituencies. We have completed all the constituencies except Ablekuma North. These are the efforts the Commission has made so far to ensure the completion of the Ablekuma North Parliamentary results since the December 7th elections. On the 9th of December 2024, 15 polling station results were added to the already collated results. All the 54 polling station results, or the pin sheets, were received from the National Democratic Congress. This brought to 219 collated polling station results. On the 21st of December 2024, 25 polling station results were added to the collation process. All the 25 polling station results were received from the new Patriotic Party. It is important to emphasize that the said 25 pink sheets were not scanned pink sheets, but rather carbon copies from the MPP. Even though the NDC collation agents reported late after 10 of the carbon copies had been authenticated by the returning officer, they were also allowed to go through these 10 carbon copies of the results. Consequently, the rest of the remaining 15 carbon copies were authenticated by both the NDC and MPP agents for that day.
So that's Dr. Bosman Asari there in Parliament, updating Parliament on the Ablekuma North. Now we're hearing the news as has just come through from the Electoral Commission, this statement indicating that they are going to run elections or rerun elections in 19 polling stations in the Ablekuma North constituency. I've been joined on the telephone, Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Gbande, is joining us right now. Thank you. So, Gbande, good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for having me.
Now, hearing the Electoral Commission now take this decision after consistently indicating that a rerun of the elections in the Ablekuma North constituency, the affected polling or the disputed polling stations, was not on the table until today. How does this strike you?
Well, good evening to our cherished listeners. I think first of all, we have maintained that EI 127 is very clear when it comes to collation of results. It does not contemplate electronically scanned or known copies of pink sheets, or as you may call it, uncarbonated pink sheets. And carbonated herein after means carbonated pink sheets that the same copy is given to all political parties, and then the carbon copy is used by the Electoral Commission to declare the results, which means that whatever the political parties have should reconcile with what the Electoral Commission have used. That is not the case in Ablekuma North. And so if today, having advocated that any other means to circumvent CI 127 is not just an illegality, it is an attempt to dilute the will, the resolve of the people of Ablekuma North. If today we are back to the reality, I think that the law is the law. If you cannot account for pink sheets, you cannot account the basis to declare, rerun is an option, and that option is one that the NDC will abide by. As a political party, we are ready, willing to go back for any legally, transparently organized election. We believe in the strength of the candidature of our candidate, Arabna Obeng, who on December 7, 2024, the people of Ablekuma North voted for overwhelmingly to be their MP, as compared to a candidate of the MPP who is good at twerking her waist on campaign platforms, who is on the record to have been involved in crimes, including visa racketeering, when she was appointed in government. You cannot impose a moral delinquent, a politically corrupt individual on the people when they have rejected her. Every effort by the MPP stressing that the Electoral Commission engaged in an illegality, right from their demonstration from Parliament, trying to pursue the police to invite them into an illegality, is a complete attempt to impose a morally delinquent, a politically rejected misfit on the people of Ablekuma North. And today, we in the NDC are ready, if elections will be held, to go back. Because after all, if you write the exams and an examiner decides that for want of better accountability, he wants to nullify the results so that we go back and write. As a good student, you should be willing to go. The NDC will go into that election if we have to go into an election. I have heard my colleagues from the other side jump into rampage. They are going
well, the NPP has indicated, in fact, we've received notice that they're going to address a press conference tomorrow regarding this decision by the Electoral Commission.
Of the NPP
yes.
is rerunning a position. For some time now, they have failed to reorganize their party. For some time now, the MPP has disintegrated. So he must be seen to be doing some work. Why are they not rather doing a demonstration? They should go and organize a demonstration. For us, we will go back in a sober reflection. We'll go back in one accord to the people of Ablekuma North in those 19 polling stations, believing that our candidate is credible, believing that our candidate, Arabna Obeng, is competent, believing that she's a better material to represent the people of Ablekuma North. We will go back and appeal to the people to give us the nod, to increase the number of seats of the NDC. After all, Ablekuma North is just one of the seats the MPP, tried to illegally snatch or to rig, which didn't work out for them. And so we are ready to go back for that election in one accord. We are confident that our government, led by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, continue to serve Ghanaians in humility and honesty, continue to rebuild what was destroyed and damaged by President Akufo-Addo and his ilk, supported by the MPP, who continue to harbor political criminals until now. We believe that given the fact that good governance is the track record so far of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, believing that unity has been part of the NDC, believing that we are on course to rebuild this nation, we would win overwhelmingly in those 19 polling stations, competently so. We do not need any other thing to do that. We are ready to go into any election. After all, even if there's a by-election today, we will still go for that election. The NDC is ready to go into any election, and so be it. I don't think that beyond this measure, the EC could have done any other thing, because whatever the remedies proposed by the MPP was, it was an affront to CI 127. It has not been contemplated within the law, and them. For them, it is not about law, it's not about service, it's not about what is right. For them, it's about politics. For them, it's about noise making. For them, it's about disingenuity of politics, and they don't do anything right. We are ready. We believe in our candidate. The lady, Arabna Obeng, is polite, very humble, presentable material. no record of crime. She's not been engaged in corruption. She goes on campaign platforms. She's competently willing and pleading with the people to give her the opportunity to serve. Unlike the other one, who, when she's given campaign platform and she's working her way, and we all know. How can you?
But Mustafa, there's one thing I wanted to take notice of.
A woman who is engaged in visa racketeering.
Right, but you see, these are allegations we cannot independently confirm or prove. So we have to disassociate ourselves from it with all of the things that you're saying. But then again, I just wanted to bring your mind to this position by the Electoral Commission, and this is going to be my last point. You have been engaging with the Electoral Commission on this Ablekuma North debacle, and now the decision to rerun 19 out of the 37 polling station results. Initially, they had indicated that a rerun was off the table. What could have led to this decision now that they have conceded, essentially, that there has to be a rerun? And I wanted to take a listen to Dr. Bosman Asari in Parliament just 2 weeks ago.
Thank you. The Commission strongly believes that for the processes that have gone on so far, if we go back to the good people of this country that we are abolishing everything, it will not be good for our democracy. It will not be good for our democracy. Thank you. So let's allow the process to continue. Thank you.
That's just 2 weeks ago, Mustafa, and now the...
Well, again, we will be back to the table to discuss the roadmap of having a competent, capable, willing, to think outside the box Electoral Commission. I believe that properly so, the current setup of the Electoral Commission is a recipe for disaster. The current setup of the Electoral Commission is not competent enough, given the various truncations, the various altercations, the various difficulties and trust issues that have ensued and characterized most of our elections from last 2 years assembly election till today. You know that even up to date, there are places in this country we haven't held assembly elections. You know, so when we are back on the table to discuss competency, we will take all of these on board. But I do think that the Electoral Commission could not have done otherwise, because the MPP knows that the pink sheets that they made available, those pink sheets are not carbonated. Those pink sheets are manufactured, scanned copies, documents the Electoral Commission cannot verify itself. The various officers of the Commission that were brought to come and validate those pink sheets, some of them even deny the signatures on the document. It's a complete or a denial of signature, given the fact that they have presented same, is enough to invalidate those documents. So you cannot manufacture a law outside CI 127. So you have no option. Given the fact that they're asking us to go and rerun, it gives all political parties a level playing field to go back and campaign. If the MPP believe that their corrupt exposure to the public, what they have done, the pain, the infliction of torture on the people of Ghana, is okay for them to win any election, let them go on Friday and win those 19 polling stations.
Right.
If we believe that tackling corruption, building the foundations they have destroyed, living transparent governance, a sober government, humble government, a government that unites Ghanaians around a clock, is enough to win that election, the NDC will appear and contest that election.
Right.
We are not afraid of election. If they are not afraid, let them go. Let them come and let's go for the election.
Right.
They believe that, and they've been saying that power is patient, that Ghanaians are in love with us, and it is fading away. If they believe so, let us go on Friday for that election,
and they will
see what the outcome is.
Certainly, it's just some 9 days away from today. We will be there. We remain your election command center. Mustafa Bande, thank you for talking to us.
I'm grateful.
He's the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, the governing NDC, Mustafa Bande, there. You're still live here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7, also on Kesmi 107.1 in Tamale, and on W 93.5 in Wa and beyond. Now, this is one that we're keeping an eye on quite closely. My colleague Stanley Nibleo has been to the Ablekuma North Constituency, the constituency without a member of parliament as yet in this 9th parliament. The news of the decision by the Electoral Commission to rerun 19 polling station elections on the 11th of July. Stanley, how are the people reacting to this?
So, Alfred, when you get to Ablekuma North, everybody are just going about their daily activities as if they've heard nothing. Meanwhile, they've heard and they are very aware about the Electoral Commission's announcement that next week, Friday, that is July 11th, there's going to be a rerun of some 19 polling stations. And so I was able to visit both the NDC and then the MPP constituency offices. When I got there, their offices have been shut, but I was able to interact with some of the ward coordinators because in the constituency they have ward coordinators. So I was able to speak to some of the ward executives. But the NPP, you know, because of the issue that they had with, or they claim they have with TV3, they did not grant us audience. So I was able to even go to the PC's party office in the constituency, that is Equia office. I met a few of the party supporters chatting in front of her party office or her personal office, and they claim that because they are at loggerheads with TV3 or Media General, they were not going to say anything to us. So they were even insisting that we should just hurry up and then leave the premises. But right. We didn't actually. Yeah,
so you spoke to other people.
I spoke to the NDC supporters who claim that for them, as soon as they heard the announcement from the Electoral Commission, they started running their campaign. So for them, they have started engaging the voters in these 19 polling stations. And so they are ready to go all out to support their candidates to win this very seat for the NDC. But then again, I spoke to some of the executives again who spoke to me off camera, and from what they've been telling me, even those who spoke to me on camera, after the interviews, they came back to tell me off camera that there is a tension within the NDC in the constituency, and if that tension is not resolved immediately before next week Friday, it is not going to augur well for the NDC in the constituency. This is because there is friction between the PC, which is Erabina Orban, and then the constituency chairman. And in the constituency chairman's ward, there are 7 polling stations within that area, and the chairman has influence in that area. And so the party hierarchy must step in immediately to resolve that fracas so that they can rally the people, the voters in the constituency for Erabina Orban so that they can vote for her.
Let's hear from them, shall we?
This time in this year, let us say the boy mine. Nti abanisa na high because ye brave ye kun ye hu e ye campaign e ma GM ni ye ma mi rabra e wa Ablekuma North nti abanisa no e high se man kana mi poa nti ba se si anu ye ni e beka e san se Electoral Commission had decide nti enu anu se e beka meka che mi manfo ni mi nuanu se ye mbo modern na ye mia ye ni ye ntu aba no e ma ye nua ba rabra obri because Ablekuma North no ya tana ha chi she nkoso nyama nkoso we share your gutters and your roads eye basa we share market ye ni market papa bia wa Ablekuma North ha enti ye problem a ye face wa Ablekuma North enti ye pania obeba be boaye ama Ablekuma North akunpun se ne be ya oman no so be ko enim enti
who face 19 areas you have to obey Erabina Orban or chances because Banyan say NPP for stronghold.
Oh, say Obika say NPP stronghold. Yeah, me there have me. And you're stronghold, but Nyama bi a nkɔ ne yie nti na ɛyɛ ɛba ne saa but this time no da yɛhu sɛ ɛnyɛ ɔmo strong yɛ mia yɛ nia yɛbɛtumi ayɛ nti sɛ maka sɛ me nua ba ɛwura da ɔbere no wa try ne best wa yɛ adeɛ ebi nsi da ɛma this year wa ma yɛ ho difference wa Ablekuma North ɛna yɛ hu sɛ Ablekuma North yɛ strong.
Well, so some of the constituents you spoke to, and so they get up for the 11th of July, which is some 9 days away from today.
Sure.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Stanley Nibleo there. He is a political affairs correspondent in the Ablekuma North Constituency. Stay with us. We're in your election command center. We will be in the Ablekuma North Constituency. If you're just joining us, the news is that the Electoral Commission will conduct a rerun of parliamentary elections in 19 out of 37 polling stations in the Ablekuma North constituency on Friday, July 11, some 9 days away from today. This decision follows months of deadlock after the December 7, 2024 general elections, leaving the Ablekuma North constituency without parliamentary representation due to disputes over the results collation. If you recall, just 2 weeks ago, the AC deputy chair, Dr. Bosman Asari, was in Parliament and had ruled out any possibility of a rerun of the elections in any of the polling stations. Well, there has been a rethink or a backtracking of that particular position as espoused by the Electoral Commission Deputy Chair 2 weeks ago in Parliament. Now, the decision is that 19 out of the 37 polling stations, the elections will be rerun. Stay with us. We'll be going into a lot more of that in our subsequent bulletins. But there's a lot that's been happening with the fuel prices. Before we get into